Okay, I checked the camera. Should be sound. Hello. What day is it? It's the 16th, Tuesday of July. Cheers. Well, let's just get really right to it. I have work to do. But first I will share that I'm wearing one of my old favorite t-shirts from the punk rock days, Corrosion of Conformity. And I went ahead and pulled a couple of the few punk rock records I still own. Corrosion of Conformity, an eye for an eye. And if you haven't heard this, this is the real deal. The frenetic energy of the music, the words, the feeling. This is really soulful punk. Frankly, the best punk for me, another one that comes to mind is the band Scream. Very soulful, very, very heartfelt. I also kept this one. Not nearly as good as this, but still, I like it. Animosity. RAF did not play with these guys, but I've partied with these guys. I've seen them before they went heavier. I saw them back in the days of this, where it was absolutely insane energy. Insane. And so much fun. Cheers. I received a couple of records, so I want to go ahead and give them a quick review and let you know about them. To start with, Fourth Dimension, you guys kick ass. I wasn't expecting this. I saw that this came out and that Fourth Dimension was part of it. But seeing that it was a triple album, I had no expectation to receive a free copy. But I did. Thank you, Lon, from the band Hunting Lodge, and thank you, Richard, for getting this to me. Hunting Lodge, Nomad Souls, Tribal Warning Shot, The Harvest, triple record set 40th anniversary celebration. This is tits, if you don't mind my old style slang, mean no sexist harm. This is also kind of cool the way people are experimenting with packaging double and triple albums. So this one comes like this, where you can just fold it out. There's one album, and then you just fold it again, and there's that album, and then the last one. Came with a postcard. Greetings from the underground. And this book, which reproduces the SM Operations, is apparently the name of Lon Deal and the band's their identity. And it tells a story in here. I haven't gone through it because I just got it, but again, this harkens back to these releases are from the 80s. And tribal, industrial, not necessarily, there's some darkness, but I don't know that that's the right word. Arcane, is that another word to associate with some of the imagery? This is interesting. Now, I played Nomad Souls, so I haven't played the other two albums all the way through. This is good, and they were ahead of the times. As far as I can tell, they were on a cutting edge of doing this stuff. Industrial music comes to mind. They do things like use I don't want to misspeak. It's just what I can hear. There's some electronics involved, but there's a lot of organic things. Test Department comes to mind. Zeb comes to mind. Even Coil, where there'll be percussive things happening with like oil drums, other things that sound very metallic, mixed with chanting and other kinds of vocals and sounds. I haven't gone deep into reading all this text because to a degree it doesn't interest me that much, quite frankly. You know, there's some kind of heavy trip that these people appear to have been on, or maybe still are. I noticed that the record came directly from the main guy. Thank you, if you see this, Lon. Lon Deal? Is that how you say your name? This is pretty cool, and I was surprised to receive a copy of it. And for those that are interested in this type of stuff, even Throbbing Gristle, if you like that sort of thing, I can highly recommend this. This is like, especially also listening to it now, 40 years later, it's like, yeah, these guys were cutting edge. And to be from the U.S., where are they from? Middle of the country? Pretty darn cool. I plan to give this a deeper listen today, all the way through. Thank you, Lon, for sending me a copy. I really wasn't expecting it. I recommend it. Hunting Lodge. To kill two birds with one stone, in recent comments, someone asked about, well, made a suggestion, which I'm not interested in. They were saying, how about Dereck show, let me go ahead and pull up the comment so I can make the connection. I wonder what it would be like if Dereck did a birthday show that he only presented music bands, artists that someone in them had the same birthday as him. Or he could just do a discography. Why not? Well, I've done a discography several times. So if you just do a search, you know, I think you can find it. But the other thing is a task I'm not interested in. I don't need to be put to task. That doesn't even sound like fun. It sounds like a whole lot of work that I'm not interested in doing. But along those lines, I'm happy to say that I share history with Hunting Lodge. We're both, my band Digital Sex and Hunting Lodge are both on this compilation that came out in the early 80s, Music from the Dead Zone 2, USA, on the Dead Man's Curve label. I remember when we were putting this together and I was in contact with, I'm pretty sure it's the guy who managed the Sex Pistols for a while. I'm looking for his name on here. But this Hunting Lodge is on here with a live track, Tribal Warning Shot, a live version of Tribal Warning Shot, which I have the original now on this. But there's a live version on this, as well as a track that was, for the longest time, only available here from Digital Sex, called Astray. I'm just really, I've always been psyched about the fact that we were included with such an interesting underground selection of bands and music to be presented. And an import out of the UK, no less. Four Against are on here. Smirsh as well. Cyclones. The Haters. Boy Dirt Car. F.I. Really cool stuff. But I love that I have shared history with Hunting Lodge. I dare say some of you folks will get into this. Nomad Souls 40th anniversary release. Thank you again, Lon. Thank you again, Fourth Dimension, for sending me a copy. I really appreciate it, and I can honestly recommend it to you viewers who may be interested in that. I also received from Kevan Revis. He told me he wanted to send this to me. I had mentioned him recently where he had bought some music and then pointed me to his Bandcamp, and it was pretty good. Well, he went ahead and sent me a copy of an album that he put out. I love vinyl, and I love this. I love getting stuff like this, which is kind of... I got to remember to put the link to this. Kevan, and notice the spelling. Kevan Revis, not Kevin. Kevan Revis. Solicitudo came out in 2010. Only 100 copies of this, and each one has that's an actual photograph that he took that he's pasted on the front. So these are all the handmade deal, no label. I've only listened to one side of this, and I've done work like this. That's the first thing that struck me, is that this is very much like my Sonospheres work, working with samples and cut-ups. And I just listened to one side of this, but it's like, oh, I like this sort of thing. I like to do this sort of thing, as well as listen. So these are two new entries into my personal collection that I'm very happy to receive. Very happy to receive. And both are recommendable. Both I can recommend, honestly, for adventurous listeners or just for people who want to listen to something other than the usual. Okay? And you all know what I mean by the usual, because I do check in on the different record collecting videos and also groups that I like to participate in on Facebook in particular. And some people have very interesting collections mixed in with a lot of the usual. And you know what I mean by the usual? The usual: Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Steely Dan, Leonard Skinner, and then the other. Some folks really like to post a lot of country music, C'est la vie. I'm staying out of commenting on current events right now because it's just insane. It's just very insane. Sitting out, because I was going to play it and I never got to it yesterday, is this remix 12-inch single by David Bowie, Love Is Lost, with the debossed cover. I think this is the one where it's the Steve Reich mix by James Murphy from LCD Sound System. Okay. And it's nothing special, but it's kind of a fun listen. White vinyl. Nothing special as far as the LCD treatment of the song. But I plan to pop this on today. So I see that the city is out this morning. I get up and I see that the city's got their guy out looking at the what we've done so far on the sidewalks. Kind of pisses me off, actually, because again, the city and our mayor, who doesn't even live in Omaha, pardon my French, but the bitch lives in St. Louis. What the fuck is that up? I didn't vote for her. And the streets of Omaha are in atrocious repair, and she's going to be leaning on us poor folks down here on the poor side of town about our sidewalks. This shit's fucked up. Someone said that they didn't understand why we have to do this. Well, the city was shitty enough to send in a certified letter the statute to show us it's on our books. You have to do this. It's not fair. It don't make no sense. And it just makes sense in these insane times that I try to, I'm just kind of trying not to say too much because it's so weird, but it's an example of the upside down, topsy-turvy way everything's are. All the values that I was raised on, to be a good, kind, loving person, sharing, open-minded, those values are not shown by our leaders anywhere on this planet right now. It's sickening. And so we can live our little lives. We can live our lives as though nothing has changed. You know, I could live my life not knowing about the larger issues and just go on. The reason why I say what I say is because things are so strange that I could do that and find myself one day out of the loop of what's been happening in politics and current events. I could find myself going out to do something that I just assumed that I could do. And all of a sudden, we're in this authoritarian police state sort of shit where you can't. And it's slowly trickling in that direction. That's why I say these things. Because again, a lot of people aren't paying attention, and so it's like they don't think nothing's wrong. And then until things hit critical mass, everybody's sleepwalking. I'm paying attention, can't do nothing about it except kind of like say, hey, I wonder if you all notice these things. That's really partly what's going on with my commentary. It's like, don't y'all notice? But yeah, I can turn this camera off, not look at what's going on in the world, and be just fine. I'm fine anyway. One last thing I'll say is that someone seemed to have an issue with me saying the word Cancerian. You know, my name is Dereck Higgins. This is my life, okay? Don't come over here telling me what to talk about, or I don't, you know, if you got some kind of hang up about astrology, you don't be making assumptions about what I'm saying and what I'm representing. That just pisses me off. You got a problem with the word Cancerian? Make a video about it. Don't tell me what to say. Isn't that fair? Fair enough. Okay, so today is supposed to be a little less hot than yesterday, and I certainly hope so, because I was basically in this room all day yesterday because this is the only AC room. It was sweltering yesterday. I hope you all are okay. I hope something good happens in your lives. I hope good things happen in my life. I hope good things happen for my family and friends. Let's go forward. Let me know how you're doing.